Ty.
Oh, we're recording right now.
Yeah, we're recording right now.
Oh, are we?
Yes, we are.
That's crazy.
Welcome back to a Geeked Out episode.
You got your boy Ty here.
And then the other two can introduce themselves.
We might know.
I like that intro. I thought it was a solid intro.
I think that was a good tactic.
Come on now.
Oh, this is... Yeah.
You don't think that was a good intro?
It was alright, I guess.
I thought it was solid. It's because we didn't have this part. You can listen to us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you want to see our sexy faces, go check us out on YouTube.
That was better.
Yeah, that was
that was a masterpiece. That's all we needed, right, Ty?
I hate everyone.
That was all we needed?
But, yeah, hello. Yeah, I guess we'll have that be the intro then.
I mean, we're also really, really close. If you press the follow, I know we're close to ads.
Yeah.
We forgot that part. Look at that.
We on it.
Look, who needs Ty? We could have done it when he was sick.
Alright, I'll just get up and go.
We got that show on
This
lock.
is why we shouldn't have done a joint one. This is terrible.
This
This is,
might
yeah.
have been a bad idea.
Well, yeah, well, we don't, no need for an intro because I guess they already covered it.
We're all tied.
But we do, yeah, we all gotta introduce. I'm Tyler.
I'm
I
Jaden.
thought I was Tyler.
No, you're not Tyler. You're James.
He's James.
I am James.
You're Jaden.
What?
You're tripping. See, look.
Give me your jacket.
Yeah, the fucking not sponsored fucking Taco Bell one. And yeah, if you guys
It's
are
not Taco Bell.
if you guys
This
are
is
watching,
just a bell.
if you guys are watching on
The bell.
YouTube,
Come on now.
if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can see that this is the first Geeked Out podcast where we're all together in the same room.
Gang, gang.
Gang. Yep. That's the thumbnail
The
right
YouTube.
there.
The YouTube. We
The
got it.
YouTube.
The YouTube.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah. So if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Music, go check us out on YouTube so you can see the full reaction of all of us looking at each other and pointing like, "How fucking dare you!" Like
Exactly.
all type of shit.
Y'all miss it. His dumbass had a Bucks jacket on as a jacket, man. Made him change that rule.
And now I got Spider-Man on.
Even worse.
Parker!
What a start.
What a start
It's a
indeed.
new one.
All right, we got a lot to cover today, boys. I mean, Black Panther came out this weekend. That's why this episode is part of the reason why this episode came out so late. Due to technical difficulties, which is why we're all here together.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, we got Black Panther to talk about. Drake and 21 Savage dropped an album. We're finally going to be covering music on the
I'm not
excited
excited for that.
I was so excited.
I already know there's gonna be a lot. Just to let y'all know, we might have security here today. Yeah, we might have to call somebody.
Yeah.
We have somebody in the other room for us.
Yeah, we had that. We had God of War and Sonic Frontiers come out this week.
We had God of War come out this week.
Hey. Let me just tell you right now.
Now one person is looking at
Game
Geeked Out,
of
looking at,
the-
hey y'all.
Game
They're covering Sonic this week. We got to ain't nobody.
Game
cares about
of the year.
God of War.
Sonic.
Exactly, I agree.
I will agree with that. Yeah.
Sonic will get Game of the Year the year that Call of Duty decides to drop a game that's like Little Big Planet.
Well, you know what's
And
crazy?
Sonic will take it.
You know what's crazy? Is that Sonic actually functions better than Call of Duty this year. A Sonic
Facts.
game. A Sonic game.
You wanna know what's
That was the
crazy?
first
Call
time
of
you
Duty
didn't do that
still
to
is
me.
not a terrible game. It's still
Oh,
a
it
game.
is.
It's not. It's a lot of the problem with Call of Duty is all y'all motherfucking new Call of Duty players and streamers want to come on and talk mad shit about it, but when you look at it, it is identical to the old school Call of Duty games. And all your new little friends that play it are just trash at Call of Duty.
James, you act like I've started like
But you
with
look at-
the new Modern Warfare.
But you
I've been
weren't,
playing this shit since
Call
Black
of,
Ops.
But you weren't a big Call of Duty fan.
Yeah.
Like, when I say, like, I've talked to people who play Call of Duty frequently, and they've bought the newer ones, and they consistently talk shit about the newer ones, and they've literally said, like, this one is the first. It's complicated. There's so much shit to do, and, of course, like, it has its bugs. And I know that one map is very shit. I've been seeing
The
pictures.
highway one?
Yeah.
That's all I
Y'all
know
see
about.
that video of the dude keep
Yep.
blowing up?
Yep.
I've seen that. That shit was comical, but it's not that bad of a game.
I like gun game.
I love gun game.
Yeah, bring back gun
That's
game.
all I know about COD.
Gun game is solid. Call of Duty's fun.
I mean, it is fun.
I played
but...
that story that you let me borrow before the mission.
Which one?
I think it was 2. COD 2.
COD 2?
Think. I don't know.
Like
you
Black Ops 2?
Yeah. You let me borrow
Well, Black Ops has a solid story.
Yeah.
Black Ops did have solid stories.
It's the only one I actually played.
Yeah.
All the way through.
But yeah, no, Sonic was it's a good game. It's definitely a lot better than what Sonic has been in the past.
Yeah, it was a 2D fucking game that all you did was ride on a fucking rail.
Well, no, I'm talking about the modern like Sonic games. Like a lot of those have been kind of disappointing. So it's a step in the right direction for Sonic. We'll see how they play it out in the future. Right. And then God of War is just fucking amazing.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it. I got a lot of games to buy.
So literally, like,
God of War is like number 4 on my list.
So I'm very I'm probably like 4 or 5 hours in at this point, and like it's good. You fight. I mean,
you better not say damn thing, boy. You gonna get your ass smacked.
No, well, but like you encounter Thor very early.
I mean, I feel like you encounter Thor pretty early in the other one too.
Yeah.
I mean, you encounter Thor in the first God of War. I mean, you gotta think you fight Unknown, which we find out who he is.
Yeah.
But then after that, you fight Thor and his brother.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you fight Thor like very early on in this game, and it's pretty badass.
Is it?
Yeah.
I figured too, and I feel like it's gonna be really different, or like not different, but it's gonna be really like amazing because you got to think it's Ragnarok, so it's gonna be based all about fucking Asgard. So it's gonna be.
Yeah. So you're like going into like the 9 realms.
Oh yeah, I bet.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because you got to think it's all like it's following the story of actual Ragnarok. Right. So it's gonna follow the story about the actual downfall of Asgard.
Right.
That's what it's supposed to. So I don't know. It looks interesting. I'm excited for it.
No, yeah, very good. Definitely my game of the year. I know a lot of people had Elden Ring for their game of the year. Elden Ring was cool. I didn't play it, but from what I've seen of it, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard some good things about it. I don't know. When it comes to game of the year, it's just so hard because like you got to look at the game of the years and like it definitely they need to break it up into categories because like you look at like say Sonic Frontier for instance, it's never gonna win a game of the year, and that's not even hating on it. But like you look and it's like it has no okay story mode, right? And it's like you have to face up against a game like say Call of Duty for instance. It might not be the best, right? But it has a great story mode and a great online. So then like they have to fight. Granted, that might not be the case this year, but like. Games like that have to face up against this. But that's why you see games like Red Dead Redemption, they came in and won it because they had a great story mode and then they had a great online. So, I don't know. Like, I feel like there needs to be, like, different a story mode game of the year, an online game of the year, and then, like, all together game of the year.
Right.
It's like...
Because every once in a while, like, you'll have, like, a game like God of War that, like, won it. But then you also have, like, a year prior to it, like, Overwatch won it. Mm-hmm. And then, so it's, like, not really a standard for, like, anything like that.
It's definitely 50-50.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty good. Both are really good. Both are really acclaimed to be really good games. Good reviews on all of them. I'd recommend it. For Sonic, I recommend if you're getting into the series, I wouldn't start with that, but it's definitely a playthrough. And God of War Ragnarok is really good. It gives you a recap too.
Oh really?
Yeah. So if you haven't played the first one, then you can. See the recap.
I would definitely play the first one.
I would too.
And the thing with the first one,
hard game for me to get into because that's not my type of game. Like that's the only thing. Like
then I would just watch someone play it. Then. Yeah.
Honestly,
I just watch Todd play it. If that's not your type of play.
Because like I can respect and acknowledge how great games are made and like the beauty behind all of them, but the games I'm used to playing are the one where it's like with y'all like Smash, 2K.
I'm the same way. I hate Final
RPGs,
Fantasy.
Like those kinds of games. I don't like because I still haven't even finished the Miles Morales game, the Spider-Man game.
I haven't even started it.
Because like
I don't have a PS5 though, so I'm not playing it. I know it's on. I'm not playing it though. It's useless. You don't get none of the graphics.
The reason why, like, I don't know. I find games a lot more fun when I'm playing with people. It's not something I look forward to play by myself. Unless, like, the only one that I can say that is Pokemon. but that's because I grew up on that and like.
Boy, don't you drop like a quadruple double with 100 points on 2K in the fucking store?
You know how often I do that though?
A lot, bro. Every time I talk to you, bro, I just drop
I screwed the Kings over, bro. Yeah. No.
Bro, I mean, I've won one with the Pistons, who I was drafted to. I've gone two with the Jazz.
I'm about to get the Celtics right now.
Yeah, like what the hell? I finished one season.
That's probably one of the only games where it's like, because it's 2K. I love basketball. Like,
yeah.
So
I could say the only game that like story mode game that I know a lot of people fuck with that I really can't get into is Final Fantasy. I'm a big type of person when it comes to a story mode game. Like if I'm gonna play it by myself, when we're fighting, and I know they said like I've talked to people. I haven't really looked it up, but I've talked to people and they say they've changed throughout the years. But I'm not a point and click type of person. Like I'm not gonna be sitting here where they're just bobbing back and forth like a fucking Pokemon. Like if I want to play that, I'm gonna play Pokemon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to see a grown ass man hopping back and forth with a level 75 sword that's on fire. It's like, bro, you should be swinging and doing a triple combo with that right now. Like, come on now, you know. So I don't know. Final Fantasy, like my brother got into that game hard. I couldn't.
That's fair.
Know.
Yeah.
But like the God of Wars, they're pretty cool. I fuck with them.
Speaking of games, Pokemon does come out next week?
Yeah, right? Next weekend.
I'm stoked.
Yeah,
I love when Pokemon comes out.
I'm not stoked. Bro, I haven't bought a Pokemon game in so long.
I got the last one I got was the Arceus game.
Bro, you want to know the last one I personally purchased was probably Black. Not Black 2, Black. Yeah. And I don't even know if it was Black. I got Black or White. But it was, it was the same time. But I don't know which one I got. I think I got Black. Because I think Pete got White and I called him racist. I got Black.
Oh my god.
It was funny shit. But I didn't like none of the starters up in that hoe. So I saw. Because that was the one with Snivy and all that. And I picked Snivy. And I was mad as shit that I picked Snivy. Because I'm a water guy.
Yeah,
so, but fucking Oswald was ugly.
Yeah.
He was ugly as hell. And then what was the other one?
Fucking Tedpix trash ass.
Ugly ass. So black and white just kind of threw me off.
Yeah. All the Gen 5 stars were trash.
Yeah, and I think the only Pokemon that I actually like 100% beat, like I had the whole Pokedex done, was Heart Gold.
Mm. See, my favorite one will always be Platinum.
Yeah,
because that's straight nostalgia.
I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but it was like it was the one I completed because I was the age I needed to be when that Pokemon. Like I was like 10 or 11.
Bro, I still play that game.
At that age, I was okay to really go through it all, so I was able to completely beat Heart Gold.
When I get in those moves where it's like I haven't played this in forever, like let me go play it. I'll grind out Platinum. Like,
see, I think my favorite Pokemon would have to be Fire Red or Leaf Green.
Yeah,
like that series. It was just, I don't know. I feel like that's when Pokemon made the turn. That's when everyone who, if they didn't play Pokemon, they
oh my god!
Hey, that was my alarm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. Jesus.
I'm up.
Finally.
No, but yeah, like I don't know. I'm excited. I love the Pokemon. I love when Pokemon comes out. Because like I said, the last one I just got was when Arceus came out, and it was more of a free world kind of game. And you I don't know. I think it was done very well. It was a cool concept. Not the best.
Well, it was a different approach.
Right.
Like, Game Freak has never done like anything like that.
Right. And
so it's exciting because I believe they want to make more games like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because like for the first attempt, I give them credit. Like it was really good for it being their first time. Really, really good. Story was cool.
I mean, I think a big thing that leads into why I don't get Pokemon no more is because they come out on the Switch, and I ain't got a Switch either.
That's fair.
Yeah. So
I got a Switch for Pokemon.
You want to know some shit? I gave away 6 PlayStation 4 games for a Switch. I gave it to my real dad. I switched him 6 PS4 games. He gave me a fully operational Switch with the connector, and he had the Joy-Cons. He had the little remote to connect the Joy-Cons. So I had the whole setup. Right. For 6 PlayStation games I never played. They literally sat there, had dust that I had to dust off of them when I gave them to him.
Right.
When I went to pick this thing up, Brad cried so much about how he's always wanted a Switch and how blah, blah, blah. I didn't want to hear him bitch no more, so I gave him the Switch. When I tell you this man has played it, we've had it for 4 years. He's played it 1 time. Boy, I've been hot ever since. Because in reality, no, because you don't have a brother like Brad. he will nonstop bitch and complain, and he will do it purposely for like when I'm asleep and I'll just fall asleep. He'll wake me up like an hour into me sleeping to ask if he can play, just so he can irritate me for me to just say have it. So just to avoid all that, I'm like, take it. I don't want to hear you. Take it. Thinking he would play it and leave me alone for other stuff as well. But it didn't. He just never played it. And it sits in the corner collecting dust.
Take it back.
I don't even know where the Joy-Cons are now. He lost the Joy-Cons.
Oh my god. So, just buy new Joy-Cons.
I'm just going to buy a new Switch.
Okay.
And I'm keeping it in my room after I buy my PlayStation 5.
So 5 years from now.
No, I'm about to buy it most likely within like the next month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, because you got to think, being back at the casino, I'm making...
Yeah, no, you're right.
So I can't have people. I don't want to get robbed, So, but yeah. So I should be buying it. I'm gonna look what they're doing for Black Friday.
Smart. Good move.
Let me know if y'all see it.
Hey, you might be able to get a deal on the Switch too at the same time.
Hey, you never know. Buy one get one free for $500.
No, yeah, Pokemon comes out. I know me and Jaden have talked about streaming Pokemon. You're more than welcome to join us, James, if you want. Join us on our Pokemon journey to be the very best that no one ever was.
Yeah, I'll stream WoW or League.
Oh, and by the way, for those of you that were wondering, because I said I was going to stream Sonic and God of War, ended up not happening because my system was fucking so amazing that it said, oh, you cannot stream unless you buy all this stuff. And I said, that's crazy because I already have this stuff.
Right.
But I ended up getting everything figured out. Won't stream Sonic and God of War because I've already started. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad I didn't because I'm very like...
Minus for the soundtrack.
The Sonic soundtrack was fucking hard.
Yeah, he showed me one of the songs. No, I went
crazy. Sonic is... regardless of what you think about Sonic... Sonic has always had a top 5 soundtrack.
I have nothing against
Sonic.
Sonic.
You make it seem like you have everything against Sonic.
That's very debatable.
No,
I just made it seem like it because when we was talking about big games coming out, this motherfucker want to go, and Sonic's coming out. Yeah. We're talking about big games. It would have been different after we talked about it, being like, and we also got some smaller games coming out. We got Sonic, we got this, but... There's not one person other than Tyler I've heard excited about the Sonic game. It's nothing again. Think about it. I was at every single Sonic. I went and saw Sonic alone with Tyler.
Yeah.
Stood in the arcade with him while he spent $25 to buy a little Sonic toy and a little fucking card machine, right? I was there through it all, okay? I like Sonic. I don't have nothing a problem with it, bro.
No, but see, here's the thing. Like, here's why you sound like a hater. Because he is our best friend, and you're coming at him saying, it's not a big game. That's his guy. And you're trashing him.
We're talking about God of War. We're talking about Call of Duty. We're talking about Hogwarts Legacy. And he said...
Who was talking about...
Sonic.
I love Harry Potter. I forgot that game was coming out.
Really?
Yeah.
I see that shit everywhere.
I don't.
Oh, really?
I forgot about it completely.
Oh.
That's coming out.
Well, because it comes out February.
So that's
probably why.
That's probably why
okay,
it chilled down a little. But I fought a lot of shit that's been keeping up on it. Because I've been trying to figure out if they're... Because right now, I'm kind of 50-50 with the game. I might not purchase it if they don't have co-op.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because if they don't have a co-op to where you can... And I don't even need it to be like a 6v6 multiplayer where I got... But if you can't even like... If I can't invite somebody to just play with me and go on quest...
Right.
They should make it like... Fair. Yeah, I think if they can do that and make it kind of like... Where you can invite someone, y'all can go do quests together, gather shit. I mean, I think...
That'd be cool.
I wish... it's already been deconfirmed that it's not going to be in the game. But I really wish... they would make it a DLC or something. I don't know what the game is. You guys know Harry Potter more than I do. But the game that like they play on the brooms and shit.
Oh, Quidditch.
Quidditch, yeah. So they confirmed that it's not going to be in it.
I want to say it's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I want to say that's the game on GameCube where you can play Quidditch.
Really?
I think. I don't know. I haven't played a Harry Potter game on like a system in years, bro. Years. But I want to say that's the one that you can play Quidditch in. So, but I've been waiting for them to apply fucking the chess game. That shit was hard. Yeah, that shit went crazy in the first one.
Alright. Well, I guess we'll move on from games. But yeah, let's talk about Black Panther because that's all in our
Spoilers.
Big disclaimer across the entire screen. Spoilers.
We'll kind of ease in our way to spoilers.
No, we're not.
But just go right into it.
Y'all better leave now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They all dead.
The queen died. What the hell, bro?
That part's true.
It's crazy, bro.
So for, like as an overall movie, we discussed how we felt about it. Now it's the next day. I don't know if y'all been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it quite a bit because.
I still think it was a solid movie.
Yeah, no, I agree. I still give it an 8. I think overall, the picture itself was very beautiful. I know y'all were kind of indifferent on this, but I like how they portrayed the sea. It was a darker movie than what Marvel has been doing lately. Lately, they've been doing a lot of lighthearted, a little bit more comedy, like fun time stuff with action scenes. So this is one of the films that they didn't do that. They didn't force any funny moments. There were their chuckles here and there, but it was a darker movie overall, and we see that from Shuri, how she's going through her own little war inside her head. Should I really hate the world, or my brother taught me so well. I looked up to him. Should I be as noble as him? What do I do? I'm alone now. What do I do? So I think overall it was very well done. I think it's a good step in the right direction for Marvel to kind of get their edge back in movies. But yeah, that's how I feel about the movie.
Yeah, I gave it a 9 because in the aspect of really the coming back in movies, I don't think they've really been making bad movies. They've been making bad TV shows, in my opinion. I don't think out of the last 5 movies, I could say 4 of them were cool. They haven't, because you got to think the last 5 that we really got, we got Doctor Strange, we got Spider-Man. Both of those were solid.
Right.
And then we got, what was before both of those?
You got Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, fucking solid.
You got
and then Eternals.
And Thor.
And Thor, which I thought was good. So you got to think, out of the 5 movies, I thought 4 of them was good. I just think the show's been really, really shit.
For the movie standpoint, you look at it statistically as a worldwide thing. Thor didn't do good. Thor, I think, is, I want to say, the 6th worst movie in MCU. Thor: Love and Thunder. I think that's where it's at. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
Maybe for money, but I wouldn't say actual movie.
Because I agree. I thought that movie was good, but a lot of people disagree. I understand why too. I get the points where people don't like the movie. But then on top of that, same with Doctor Strange. That's a big, a lot of people hate that movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's also on the bottom half of Marvel.
That's great. I actually really haven't heard that. I've heard nothing but good things.
No,
about
yeah,
that.
A lot of people don't like it.
What's not to like
I'll try
about
to
it?
pull it up.
People didn't like the Illuminati.
The Illuminati, the fact that...
I didn't like some of the characters they brought in. I could say that.
They didn't. They also didn't like because how it's called Multiverse of Madness, that they only go into really 3 dimensions.
Yeah, and they don't even really do anything except in one of them or 2 of them. And then there's one person that they see throughout these dimensions, and it's different version of Doctor Strange, and it's just him still being sad. So
well, yeah,
plus
but
America Chavez wasn't that great of a character.
Also really, I don't know, as a fan watching that movie, because I've watched it a couple more times since it came on Disney Plus. Right. I actually really liked it.
Yeah, no, I like the movie too.
And watching it again, I just get more love for it because you see that even though it's really that they're only seeing Doctor Strange in every single multiverse, it's growing his character. He matured so much throughout that movie. He went from really being a selfish motherfucker. You got to think Doctor Strange always been super selfish and about himself. And he kind of went into, away from that in this movie. He, throughout the whole movie, he grew up. Because you saw, all these other Doctor Stranges. He wanted to make himself different. He wanted to learn from his mistakes. Because you got to think, he lost the love of his life in every dimension. And he's seeing that. And he's like, damn, so it wasn't her. It was me. I was 100% at fault. And I feel at the end of the movie, it kind of showed.
Yeah, I just think... I think it could have been a better character arc in general for him. I think it was for a solo movie. there wasn't too much.
But
Like,
to say that, I wasn't a big fan of the first Doctor Strange. Right. I feel like the first Doctor Strange movie was, it was 50-50.
And then on top of that, like, I do agree with this. Loki should have been a Scarlet Witch movie. Like, she went crazy. Like, it focused a lot on her, and she was, quote unquote, the villain. Like, yeah, like, you do want to put your focus point on them, like, here and there, but, like, it low-key should have been a Scarlet Witch. Anyway, so, like, statistically and on a worldwide scale, like, there's probably, I want to say there have been, this was the 5th or 6th movie out this year. I think it's 5. This was the 5th one.
What, that Marvel did?
This year?
I don't think so.
Movie-wise?
I think it's only like the 2nd.
Marvel did 5 fucking movies this year?
I mean, I could be very wrong.
I think you're really wrong.
I think I mean, sorry, I meant
Jesus
Phase. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Phase. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
My apologies.
I was gonna say Phase,
That's my bad. Yeah. No, Phase. Sorry. That's on me.
This phase started.
What is this?
Like 2018.
What phase is this? 4?
This is 4.
Or yeah, 4.
Yeah.
It's technically 5 now.
Yeah, Black Panther was the last movie in 4.
Now.
Okay, so let's see. Let's go through it real quick. So,
because all we've had this year is Black Panther.
We had Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, we had Doctor Strange this year.
And then we also had 4 this year because we had Spider-Man too.
No, Spider-Man came out in December.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
That's
it was
this year.
Barely.
Motherfucker, that's this year. We're counting it.
Shut the fuck up.
You gotta think. If it's after the 15th, we're counting. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hold on. So phase 4, you got Black Widow, trash. Shang-Chi, solid. Eternals, trash. Spider-Man, solid. Doctor Strange, solid. In our opinion, solid. Mm-hmm. On a worldwide standpoint, trash. Thor: Love and Thunder, worldwide, trash. And then Black Panther, that has come out so far, solid. Mm-hmm. So in phase 4, there have been 7 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And a bunch of TV shows.
But on just movies, 4 of them.
We're going to get back to TV shows in a minute because I do want to say
statistically, movies, over half of them, given there's 7, but 4 out of the 7 have failed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was good. I give it a 9. I mean, I was a big fan of the first one. I give it a 9. But as you say, you like the portrayal of the scene. As I said, I thought it was fine. But as I said, I think it would have only made sense. I think it was kind of dumb for him to turn and say, I brought the sun to my kingdom, and then bring out the sun and it's still just as dark.
That part was low-key stupid.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they did portray it good, but I feel like at that point right there, that whole city should have lit up.
No, I feel
You know what I'm saying?
I feel it.
And it's like, even when it got lit up, like, I don't know, maybe it was that I was looking over at DC so much because I am a huge Aquaman fan. Like he said, like, maybe that I was hating on it more, but it's like, when I looked at Aquaman and like every city that they went to, even when it was just like in the Justice League movie where they were defending the cube, or when they met up in Aquaman to talk about attacking and shit like that, like all the surrounding areas look so nice. But in MCU, like, they just made everything, which I mean it makes sense, but everything was just like algae on everything was corroded, and it was like it for a kingdom, and like you're saying, oh, this is my kingdom, I brought like I get it, like you're supposed to make them, like, we're supposed to feel for them, but I don't know, like it.
Well, so what I'm thinking is like, cause yeah, Aquaman and them is hidden, like, and whatever, but the only thing they really got that's anybody's really looking for is the cube, because that was held in Atlantis, right? That was where one of the cubes was. So in the case of Namor and his people, what they have is vibranium,
but you
and people started finding.
Found out that they
in the movie,
we just finding out, and you got to think, we're talking about that he's been around since about the 1600s.
Right.
That's what was said. So you're saying, in the last 5,000 years, we haven't bugged them at all, and now that we're bugging them, now he's pissed off again.
No. What I'm not saying that. I'm saying
ain't nobody bugged the dude in 5,000 years.
Right. No. What I'm saying is, I think part of the reason to not make it all fancy and whatever is to not bring attention to their place. They're trying to stay hidden for a reason. They got these resources, like, that they want. Like, that's it. Like, they're trying to be left alone, and now people are, like, finding that there's vibranium on the bottom, like, whatever, now things get hectic. But I think the reason why it's not, like, crystal clear and like beautiful and all that is like part of it is because they're trying to be as dark, as low profile as possible, and it's worked for over 5,000 years until people found vibranium.
Yeah, I mean, so as I said, that was the only thing that was kind of weird. Is like,
right.
as I
said,
I
do agree with that though.
But I mean, it was a solid all around movie. I like I won't say the exact person because I don't want to give too much spoilers since I already said the queen died.
I mean, we're already
we're
too deep in. So
I really like how, or as I said last night, I like how they brought in Killmonger. Yeah. I thought it was a perfect portrayal, and I think it was a perfect time to bring it in. I don't think there is a better person that she could have came in contact with than I think, because in her mind, what she wanted to do every single thing that Killmonger wanted to do. The whole, Killmonger's whole plan when he took throne, Zuri wanted to amplify that.
Yeah.
100% when she first got that Black Panther. Right. And it's because
the moment that T'Challa died, even.
Well,
that's
yeah,
when she started really thinking.
But I would say, when she really took that herb, that's when it was. I don't think if she would have took that herb at the beginning of the movie, I don't think she would have saw Killmonger. Watching her mom die next, I think she was like, damn, so I have no dad, no brother, no mom. It's literally me.
Right.
At that point, I think she was like, no matter what happens, it is what it is. Like, who do I got to answer to? You know? And I feel like at that point, she was just ready to, as she said, burn the world.
Right.
So I think it was a perfect kind of representation. I thought it was great that they brought him in. And I was really happy because, as I said from the get-go, I love Chadwick Boseman. I thought they did a great job in casting him. But if they did not cast him, they could not have gone wrong with Michael B. Jordan. Right. And I thought that it was cool that Michael B. Jordan went for Black Panther. And because they wanted it to be Chadwick Boseman, they made him Killmonger. Because they're like, Killmonger is the guy.
Yeah.
Like, out of all the Black Panther villains, like, Killmonger's the guy. I don't care what no one says. He's better than Namor. He's better than all of them. Killmonger is that guy. Because that motherfucker's hard. Yeah. Like, he is.
Yeah.
So, I like that they brought him back. And with Black Panther being my favorite MCU movie, so I thought they brought the second one.
So, me and Ty were talking about this. We meant to ask you yesterday.
Was it better than the first one?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No, it was good. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was a great second movie. It was a great follow-up. You're not beating Chadwick Boseman. You're not doing it. He portrayed Black Panther perfectly. The whole storyline of the first one. This one was definitely had my attention more than the first one, because this one was more of an emotional connection to it. Because no matter if you get emotional from the movie or not, it's an emotional movie. Because you got to think, like, this is a guy who, through all of what he was going through, nobody knew.
Right.
Nobody knew. Right. And it was really only his closest people, and he was just trying to do what he could for everyone. So watching someone like him, and like, he was such a good-hearted man. You never saw one bad thing about him. Never.
He only gave back to community.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he was the poster child. Yeah. Like, he was that guy.
Yeah.
And so seeing the first one, I think he did it perfectly. I loved it. And as I said, it was nothing against this one. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great follow-up, but I still like the first one.
See, and I know it seemed like I was shocked. Like, really? Like, the second one's clearly better. It's not that. I really thought you would have chose the second one over the first one. No. But I don't know. I don't know which one's better.
Because the thing is the first one. The first one, because you got to think the first one has the action scene that the second one had, right? It also has the seriousness and the emotion of this one. Not to an extent. Yeah, not as much. Definitely not as much, but it has emotion.
Right.
And then it also has its funny parts. Like, it kills each part.
See,
like, it was one of the funniest MCU movies.
So here's
not the funniest. I know the way you look at me. It's not the funniest. It was one of them.
What are those?
Yeah, what are those? Like, throughout the whole movie, like, there was just little.
No, I know.
Little one-liners.
Here's where, like, to me it comes down, because in my opinion, I think a majority of the action scenes in this one are better than the first one.
There's more action scenes, I would say.
I also think they're better. This could just.
I would say the final fight for Black Panther 1 was 100 times better than the final fight for. Oh yeah. Because you got to think the fight between Zuri and fucking Namor was not long.
Let me think about it. Hold on.
It was
because then you said the final battle for.
Because you got to think.
Shuri.
It was going back and forth between Killmonger and between T'Challa. No cap, and you know this. Zuri got her ass whooped the whole entire time. She never ever won that fight until the very end.
She clipped his wing in that fight.
That's all she did was rip off his wing while she was getting beat the fuck up.
I mean, she did some damage.
She did something, but she was getting whooped. If it wasn't for her plan of keeping him dry and in the heat, she would have got whooped. If he was any sort of water into him, she was getting whooped the whole time. The only reason he was getting weaker is because he had no water on him. That's why he was getting weaker.
Final battle-wise...
But granted, I'll give you that boat fight. That shit was dope.
Even when he first came into Wakanda, when he was flying around, we saw that, like...
That fight was hella cool. I'll give you that fight.
I'd still give...
Fight, you gotta... There's no way you can't give Black Panther the final fight.
I haven't seen Black Panther in quite a while. I plan to watch it quite recently.
I'll remind you. They get down and they're
I understand, but I need to... I don't know. I need to watch
And then I don't know if you remember, but some crazy shit happens and he goes, and that's how he finishes the kill.
Yeah.
The final kill?
That's fair. Okay.
Hard. Like,
I'll probably give that, but I'd still give action to the new one.
Oh, yeah.
I'd give final battle to first Black Panther.
I just look at it and it's like all throughout, like you look at in each milestone, and I feel like Black Panther beats Black Panther 2 in every category.
I don't know, because I think, like I said, I'm going to go back and watch the first Black Panther. This is kind of just off the top of my head of what I kind of remember. But I think I like the story of the second one more than the first one, too.
The number 2 had, of course, a bigger story.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the story wasn't... The story was about Zuri. I don't care what no one said. Namor had nothing to do with it. This movie was about Zuri trying to overcome all the deaths. That's what the movie was about. Namor just kind of fit into there. Like, that's all that happened. And so that's why the story was so great.
Right.
But, I mean, you look at the first one. The first one, it had a better villain. It had better graphics.
I'll give better villain. I don't know about better graphics either.
It had better graphics.
I don't know about that.
Did you see the way Wakanda looked in the first one?
It looks the exact same in the second one and in Avengers Infinity War. It looks the exact same.
Yeah, but then they fucked up a lot of shit throughout the second one. Not fucked up, but like
but they destroyed the city.
The graphics were not like that the way.
I don't know. I think graphic wise, I would probably give it to.
I'd give it to the second one.
Yeah.
I told Jaden yesterday because there's a bunch of like you can tell when Marvel uses CGI, but there's one scene where they in Wakanda Forever where like he comes out of like the ocean to go talk to the Queen, Namor. That shit was like the realest shit I've ever seen Marvel fucking do.
That dude came out of the ocean.
You saw him. He had to go like this to get the water.
No, yeah, but like I was so shocked because they like the ocean looks so real.
Yeah. So like I give
that shit was AK.
And I ain't disrespecting Killmonger. Easily better villain. In like.
Well, of course he was. They brought him back.
Yeah, the first Black Panther, they got the better villain. I still love Namor, and he's like one of my favorites. But all due respect, the first Black Panther has a better villain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I'm gonna have to go back and watch the first Black Panther because right now, I would probably give it to the second Black Panther as a better movie out of the two. But like I said, I'll go back and watch it. And
honestly, it's not a terrible like. It's not a terrible take because it's not like as I said. It's funny to hear that because but I also know you guys don't really fuck with Black Panther 1 like that, and like so I mean it makes sense.
The thing that did feel empty was Chadwick wasn't there. Like that was like the movie did feel empty in that perspective. So like I said, I'll go back and
that's one thing. As I said to you guys, and I don't know how Tyler felt about it. I know you said how you felt about it. The one thing I didn't personally like, as I said, I think they should have put something of Chadwick in there. There was a lot of shit said about it that they were gonna. The whole movie was filmed, so you can't tell me there was not a single thing you guys couldn't put in there. The whole movie was refilmed after Chadwick died. The whole movie was already filmed. They were just going to do like their final touches throughout the movie. But they said more than 80% of the film was already done when Chadwick passed. And they had to redo the script, redo the whole movie, shit like that. So, to me as a fan, like, if that's what's going on, there's no way you guys couldn't have put even just a tiny snippet. We didn't get no end credit scene. You said we couldn't have got a little end credit scene of just, like
of the original
exactly.
script.
Of, like, because we got to see her coming face-to-face with Killmonger.
Right.
And then back when she started really calming her mind down, she came face to face with her mom. Why can't she, at the end credit scene, while she's like really coming to terms with shit, like why can't she 15 seconds with Chadwick?
Yeah.
And literally all you have to do, show him. You don't even have to have him say nothing. Have him shown to where she gets to see him.
Yeah.
Because to have her not see her brother when that was literally, not meaning to say, but like she loved him with all of her heart. Like the love of her life was her fucking brother.
Yeah.
Like and she would have went to war.
Which I mean, that's where like all of the clips of the first movie, like that's where.
Yeah, and
that
like
was
and,
that what
yeah, and
tribute. But
I get
I mean,
it,
I
but
agree.
It's like,
I think they're during
you
that
guys
end,
did. You guys like. You wussied out. Just to go back and put fucking clips of. What he
But
did,
then again,
like,
I feel like I don't think they meant to like wussy out or like even any disrespect on his name. I think they tried to respect his name as much as possible. I agree.
Feel like,
I think they could have done.
Knew the fans wanted to see Zuri come face to face with her brother.
Right. I don't know.
I don't think
It's
that was a secret,
unfortunate, but
so.
Ty, it's your turn for input.
Yeah, no, I liked
You're
it.
critical on movies.
I am very critical on movies.
Well, so what did you think about the second half? Because I know you was asleep during the first half.
You fell asleep?
He was passed the fuck out.
I did take
You
a
want to
little
know how
bit
I
of a
knew
nap.
he was napping? Because I felt his head on my shoulder real quick. I felt the little...
No.
And I looked, I heard...
When did you fall asleep?
Like, it was like during the movie, like the beginning
Like
part.
25 minutes in, he was gone. I saw he went like this. I was like, "Hey, you sleep? All right, go back
That's
to
wild.
the movie. I'm not missing out on the movie."
That's wild.
Like,
No, I mean, and I...
good not to be the one to fall asleep this time.
But
I went back and watched the fucking DC Super Pets. There's so much I didn't see. Bro.
Yeah, it's great.
Fantastic,
Great
bro.
movie. Should have won Movie of the Year.
yeah, no, I mean, from what... I mean, obviously, I took a couple naps here and there during it.
Couple?
A couple, yeah. But, like, we saw it at fucking 12 o'clock at night.
I know,
when I woke
drove
up at
it for
6:30.
2 hours. I was awake with you.
And I woke up at 6:30 in the morning prior to that day.
I'm just saying, I was on 3 hours of sleep. I actually had a girlfriend
And I
who woke me
wasn't?
up that morning. So, and she actually woke me up.
Ooh.
Yeah, it wasn't
Don't act
me
like you
up.
didn't take a nap during the day, though.
I took an hour nap. I was
That's
working.
better than what I had.
Oh, I got a whopping 4 hours of sleep.
Anyway. No, yeah, for me, I mean, the movie was good. When I fell asleep, I got the premise of what the story was telling.
Okay.
It was like, it was all focused on Sherry and her grief.
Right.
And like all that coming to terms with the death of her father and her brother.
I don't think she was coming to terms with her father.
Her whole family
That
was
motherfucker been
fucking
gone
dead.
for a minute.
Her
He's
whole
been gone for a cool 10 years damn near.
Killed.
Yeah, but still losing her whole fucking family.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, I mean it was a good story. I feel like the first one was a better story wise to an extent, but that's because the second movie had a different story to tell.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's kind of what my aspect was, because I want to say number 2 has a better story, but the story, like the actual story, the first one was better by 100%. But the second one, there's a side story that is better. Like that side story of what the movie's actually supposed to be.
Because the main story
the
really
main story
is,
was not better than because the main story is actually like the Namor and all that.
Yeah.
That's not better than the original story.
Yeah.
Like the original story of Killmonger, of literally T'Challa's dad and this dude's dad. They're fucking cousins, and his dad killed his brother, and now the cousins are having to fight for it. Like that shit was cool. He came face to face with his cousin. Now he's having to. It brings into like the normal. You have to pay for like your past actions, and like now he's having to pay for his father's actions because of what his father did. So I don't know. I agree with you on that standpoint.
Yeah. Well, even like the side story, because the first movie also had a side story with like Chadwick or with T'Challa being like, oh well, like Killmonger's actually like kind of right.
Yeah, exactly.
Like his like course of like how he's doing it is wrong, but like he's right. We need to like share the vibranium to the world, all that shit, and that plays a factor into the second one too, because every fucking country now that like he opened up it, it's like, well, where's my fucking vibranium?
And now they're having to pay for technically
T'Challa's so it's actions. The whole second movie is about consequences based off actions.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good. What's his name? Namor was cool. Not better than Killmonger.
No.
I didn't like his. I didn't like his nose piercing. That really. But I don't know if you guys noticed, but like one side was thicker than the other. That really.
I kind of did. Like I was like.
Yeah, that was really. It wasn't even that he had a nose piercing, but it was like
OCD.
But bro, because it was like it wasn't small. Like, this, like, I want to say it was his right nostril was, like, a lot thicker. Like, the jewel that was in there was, like, low-key a lot thicker. That, like, it looked like he can pull it out, and it low-key was, like, you know, in Shang-Chi, how the sister had the little thing on the rope, and she was fucking spinning and stabbing. That's what it looked like was in his nose because of how thick one side was. I was like, bruh, like, that shit threw me off.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the other like all the action scenes were cool. I'm trying to think. Yeah, whenever it was like the action scenes, it was fucking like really cool. Like obviously, I stayed awake during that. It was just the dialogue that for me, like kind of like it was a little bit predictable and all this shit. That's why I was like, okay, I can fall asleep during this part. I know what it's fucking saying. And even like at a point, like I went to the bathroom, like okay, it's just fucking plot telling.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I can go to the bathroom during this part. Which I mean, there's nothing wrong with giving your characters more depth and whatever. I kind of told Jaden because it's definitely a world building like movie. You're still doing shit with Wakanda. Now you got this fucking Atlantis ass fucking city, all this shit. And I said for a movie that's in a franchise with 22 other movies, is there really necessarily need to be world building? But, I mean...
Yeah, no, it's definitely a 50-50 kind of thing. Cause, and, like, as you said, like, even with the first one, like, we look at T'Challa. And as I was talking to you about this last night, like, you look at the things Killmonger was about, and T'Challa turned and was like, okay, I can see that, like, yeah, we really do need to do this. But you look at Killmonger, or you look at Namor, and literally nothing he was saying was like, yeah, no, we should do that. Like, he was wrong in every aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was, as you were saying, like, of how he is an anti-hero, they portrayed and that's why I will put the first one above him, because they did a really shitty job at portraying him as an anti-hero. Well, in not one aspect that I think he was an anti-hero.
So I'm not saying that's how Marvel's portraying him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I know that's not what you're saying, but I'm saying, like, if that's how
he's an anti-hero. Because then you look at Venom, and Venom's mainly a villain. Like, in comics, like, Venom's more portrayed to be a villain than an anti-hero. Mm-hmm. Marvel made him an anti-hero straight up. So
now they did. At first, they made him, because in the...
Right, but see, like, that's what I'm saying, like, it all depends on how they're first introduced. Because, yeah, right now he's a villain, 100%. He's
like with the way
not a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know, and that's why like I also give it to the first one because like as I said, well, I don't know, like I just have too many questions about this motherfucker still. Way too many.
Like what?
Like what's actually gonna fuck? Like what he said, it left too many questions. Like what is this motherfucker's plans?
That's the point of like future plans.
No, and I know, but like it's just I have too many question because it's like I don't know if you're a villain like it's a solo movie, you know what I'm saying? I don't want a second movie of the same fucking villain, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to go 3 more movies of the same villain. Kill him,
but what I'm saying,
or change what he's doing, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what we wanted to like. He's the same motherfucker at the beginning of the movie, at the end of the movie. Nothing has changed.
Yeah,
in reality, like that fight was useless. The whole ending fight was useless. It did nothing. It accomplished nothing.
Well, it did more so for Shuri than
But it literally only did. Because you got to think about it. When they first came and attacked Wakanda, they weren't coming back. They did what they needed to do.
Right.
They went and sought him out for that final fight.
Right.
So you went and sought him out and then literally...
Yeah, it was more for Shuri's sake.
Yeah, achieved nothing. You literally just got personal beef, like, settled. Like,
yeah,
that's
so
literally all you
so
did.
it's not even Namor's fault. Like, he did, like you said, he did what he was meant to do. He did what he said he was going to do, minus the kill, like, I'm going to kill all y'all. And then Shuri saw him out again, like, to kill him. Mm-hmm. Then came to terms with it. So, throughout the movie, he said, don't mess with us, or we're going to mess y'all up. And he did. Straight up. So, like, and it's like, to some extent, it's like Loki's character. Like, he's not like he planned to be...
For Loki.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
After Thor 1, they put him in jail. They didn't do shit to Namor. They let him go back home. Just gonna say that. They locked Loki up every time. Well, they made sure to... Even though he would escape and everything, they made sure to keep him contained at the end of every single thing he did. We let Namor walk free and go back and get his troops rallied again.
If you look at that boat scene, Namor's people won.
And you're saying Loki never won? Loki never went back to his home planet.
Look. Loki was by himself when he got captured and everything. He didn't have a people with him. It was Loki against Thor, or Loki against Odin. Like, it was him and one other person. This was tribe versus tribe. This was people versus people. And Namor's people was kicking their butt. Mm-hmm. She made him yield and made this peace treaty. That, like, the only other way, you're not going to lock him up. Because the people are just going to end up killing your people.
I'd have killed him.
Then Namor's people would have killed the Wakandans.
As debatable.
No, it's not, because Mbaku was on there.
Mm-hmm. But you got to think Zuri. Right when they would have attacked, Zuri would have came back. She's the Black Panther. You tell me the Black Panther ain't gonna whoop their ass?
If it's
all she gotta do is go like this. Remember,
on a lot of people.
Boom, and they all explode. They have that tech on their thing that everything explodes around them. You tell me she can't.
But they also got all vibranium, which can pierce the suit, which we saw Namor do. Like. Mm-hmm. So it would have been very possible to kill her off too. Like, the way that they handled the situation.
All I'm saying is literally he walked.
Like, sense.
What I'm saying is, the first time we saw Namor, right, to the very final scene of the movie, nothing changed with him.
Right.
His mindset hasn't changed.
Yeah, 100%.
Like nothing. He's the same dude. What did the villain in this aspect? Nothing was accomplished of the villain of the movie. That's what I'm saying. All we got was a story. The villain was just kind of
future plans.
That's why I said Namor. Well, that's why I said like Namor wasn't a good villain because he was just kind of a character in the movie. Because as I said, there was no character growth within him. Like we saw Zuri get character growth. We saw no character growth within him, right? Like that's the main thing of a character.
Okay, well, real quick. So in the villain, let's bring Loki like in it again. Okay. Where was Loki's character growth in Thor?
Well, you think in the first one, right?
Yeah.
He goes and he progressively goes and tries to get stronger. He consistently tries to become a villain, but then realizes villainous isn't for him. So within the first couple
that ain't true. That no, because he tried to take over Earth. That's not true. Not in Thor. That is not what he did.
Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
So he goes throughout and he learns villainism isn't for him, right? If you see going on because
okay, real quick. So you're going further on after Thor. Just keep it Thor. That's what I'm saying. Because this is
okay,
one movie.
But as I said, so character growth. He got locked up, he got locked up. We don't need character growth because they did something to the villain.
He didn't get locked up that movie. He did not get locked up.
He got locked up at the very beginning because they already had him.
Loki?
Yes, he got locked up at the beginning of number 2 because they already had him. They had him already.
Thor 1.
Yes, Thor 1. They already had him. They didn't put him in jail, but they had him at the beginning. Was right away they had his fucking trial. They're not going to do a full trial at the end of number 1.
The first Thor movie, I'm going to tell you what happens. In the end battle scene, Thor gets back to Asgard, destroys the Rainbow Bridge because Loki's trying to destroy everything. Then he's about to go, like he's falling off the Rainbow Bridge because Thor broke it in half. Thor grabs him and Odin grabs Thor. And then they're like, cool, okay, like let's go. And Loki's like, nah, let's go of the staff and goes. Does not go to jail. He goes into the abyss of space.
Okay,
That's
so
what
again, so something happens to his fucking character. Nothing happened to Namor. Nothing. He goes into the same fucking cave he was in. We at least thought Loki would have died. Like, we know nothing. Like, Namor, nothing happened. That's what I'm saying. You at least, as you said last night, we saw Loki try and slay the fucking ice giants so that they saw... We saw nothing of Namor. We saw the same shit. See, that's what I'm saying. The first time we saw him to the last time, he was the same exact
That goes
dude.
more into the difference of the characters.
That's what I'm saying. They at least built Loki. They didn't build Namor.
That was his plan the entire time, though.
But
that
they
was
didn't build
his
Namor.
entire
That's what I'm saying.
So, with his plan, with Loki's plan, his plan was to get them out of the situation because he called Odin saying, "Hey, he tipped him off. He was like, we're going to the Frost Giants. Come save us." Like, he tipped him off.
But they also...
So then, that's his way to get rid of Thor. Worked. Plan succeeded. He goes into his coma. Even better. Now, while Thor's banished and Odin's asleep, he is still a prince of Asgard. Therefore, he is ruling as king while his mother goes and tends to Odin. Mm-hmm. So... Now he has the people on his side too, just automatically because he's the Prince of Asgard, and ain't nobody seen no evil anything from him. He contacts the Frost Giants, gets them to where Odin is. His plan is for them to go and get as close to Odin as possible so that he can kill him, and so that Odin would look at Loki as a more suitable king than Thor. That was his plan. It's the easier route to becoming king than anything else. That was his plan. That was what he set out to do. The only difference is he failed. That was the only difference. Now, you look at Namor, right? Mm-hmm. People come mess with his stuff. He knows how powerful his clan is. And he goes to Wakanda because on land, Wakanda's the place. Mm-hmm. They are the most powerful. He goes to them and says, "Hey, we want to make an agreement with you. Y'all know about the land. This is what happened. Get us a scientist. If not, we're also going to see y'all as enemies." They say, "Okay, we'll do what we do." They find out as, that 19-year-old girl.
Riri Williams.
Sorry, I don't know.
Oh, no, I
was just saying it. Yeah, so, the whole goal was for them to get the girl. That was their plan. Mm-hmm. They ended up capturing them both. So that, the plan stays consistent. That was they just wanted the girl so that they couldn't make that technology anymore. Mm-hmm. Then, when things go crazy, he even told the queen, if I see anything, if y'all try to, mess with this plan that we're trying to do, we're coming after y'all too. It don't matter. We're coming for y'all. Mm-hmm. They crossed the line, and he did what he said he was going to do. Plain and simple. That's what I'm saying. His plan worked.
So you're saying he's that guy only because when he said he did something, he went and followed.
Look at Zemo.
But my point is we had no, as I said, the first time we saw him, right? The first time we ever saw Namor, mm-hmm. He was floating in the sky and he had thrown down that helicopter. Right. Right?
Yeah.
The very last time we saw him, he said when someone goes after Wakanda, that's when we'll strike. Mm-hmm. From that point to the helicopter point, literally nothing had changed in his character. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
We just let him go right back after just, I don't know, you say it's a clan versus clan.
Right.
But to me, it went away from that, and it went away from going to a treaty once he killed the fucking queen. You killed a queen.
Right.
I don't care who you are. You killed a queen. You don't let that walk back and do a treaty. What?
M'Baku said the exact same thing, that we should not kill him because that would be war on war on war for generations. But I also said the same thing about T'Challa. He should have fucking killed what's his name when his dad died. Why are we letting these people who are killing fucking kings and queens walk back and do what they do? We not making them pay at all? That's from their actions. But M'Baku was saying the exact same thing.
Yeah, I didn't agree with M'Baku either. Why are we letting this motherfucker who just not only killed the queen, but destroyed a whole entire kingdom? I'm just saying, if we took Namor, right, and we threw his ass in prison, that whole kingdom is not coming. Because I don't know if you noticed, but that kingdom is not, they not going to be able to overthrow Wakanda without Namor. They're really not. He was that game changer. He was the one taking down all the fucking stuff. Because these people ain't going to be continuously chucking up spears to take out these helicopters and the planes and shit that are shooting him. He was able to fly. Right. It's a whole different situation when you take him away. And not only that, but he's a whole... I mean, I guess the reason they went because he's... I mean, he can't really fly no more because he's missing a wing. I think he'll fly cricket. And that's only me. But, you know...
I don't know. I just, like...
I don't know. I wanted to see more character growth. As I said,
I don't think
he's the same fucking dude. Nothing changes.
Right, he's a villain.
Like, I get that, but even
the exact same.
Even Thanos, like, he had character growth.
Thanos is a more
okay, Red Skull had character growth.
No, he did not.
He was definitely different from the very first scene to the very last scene. That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone.
He said, "I'm gonna win the war and rule the world with the Tesseract." And then continue to do so. I'm gonna take Red Skull
back because I honestly haven't seen. I've only seen Captain America twice.
Look at Zemo.
So I'm not going.
Zemo did the exact same thing. All his plan was to break up the Avengers.
Yeah.
Zemo did the exact same. Zero character growth. In fact, the only thing that he tried to do that was different was kill himself with a gun. That was it.
Gang shit.
That's it. Obadiah in Iron Man 1. What did he do? His whole plan was to sell Tony Stark's weapons across the world on the black market.
Yeah.
Continued to do so until he died.
When did I ever say he was a good villain?
Okay, what about Zemo? Because Zemo, in my opinion, was one of the best MCU villains. Because he did the exact same thing. He did exactly what he said he was going to do. And that was to break up the Avengers. And that's a big deal. And he did it. He succeeded. The Avengers were broken up because of one guy.
Yeah.
Solid villain. Stuck to his plan. No character growth. Zero. There was zero character growth in Zemo's villain.
Okay, in Zemo. Of course. But as I've said, there was character growth in Thanos. There was character growth in Loki.
Now Loki's a different situation because now he's not a villain; he's an anti-hero.
Exactly,
right? But he went from
so it was character growth.
Real quick, so
exactly my point.
So when we get introduced to Loki in Thor, no character growth. He left. He was gone. No character growth. He tried to do his plan, failed, and left.
But there's also like they had a plan for Loki, but right now.
We didn't know that plan.
But we didn't know that. But we look at forward, right? And we look at Namor. We already know the fucking title of the next 2 Avenger movies. We know the villain of the next Avenger movie. Yeah. They don't have a plan for him in that aspect.
That we see.
That we know of for the Avenger movies. We know he's not that guy.
We don't know that.
We do. It's called the fucking King Dynasty.
I'm not saying he's the villain.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, they had a plan. Right now, it doesn't look like they have a plan with him. They have no growth.
Do you realize how many movies and shows that there are that they haven't released yet? So many titles, so many dates.
And I get that, but
so hold on. Because if you want to talk about villains and you want to keep bringing up Loki and how he changed and there's his character growth throughout an entire 3 phases, why not?
Of one phase. Thor 1, 2, and Avengers was phase 1.
Thor 2 was phase 2.
Thor 1 was definitely phase 1.
Thor 2 was phase 2.
Was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Shut up
phase 2. Okay, so still, within 2 fucking movies, he had character growth, because we didn't need to wait for the third Thor for character growth.
Okay, so...
We just needed the Thor 1 and Avengers for character growth.
So in 2 movies of
Loki... So
in
phase 1, yes, we had character growth from Loki. This is the end of phase 5, so he's already been through a fucking phase, no character growth, correct? Thank you, that's my point enough. We needed 1 phase to 0 phase. There we go.
So 1 phase to 0 phase. Cool. So you have Thor 1, who did... no character growth.
Okay,
don't get what you're saying.
But of Avengers, course, we were also learning who Thor was and who Loki was.
Avengers. No character growth. He had 0 character growth in Avengers. He was trying to rule the world.
Okay.
Failed. Again.
He failed. But again, what did they do at the end? They trapped him. They didn't do shit to Namor. They let him walk out after killing a queen and an entire kingdom.
So real quick.
That's my point.
That's fantastic.
He didn't just kill one person. He killed an entire kingdom.
That's great. So now, you're giving Loki 2 movies. Why can't Namor have another?
Who said he can't have another?
So you're
just do something to him in this one. That's all I'm asking. I didn't need him killed. Man. Put him in a pair of cuffs.
You're being hypocritical on
I'm
both.
not. I just wanted something done to Namor.
Listen,
I would have been
listen to
fine
what you're
after
saying.
Thor 1 if they would have locked up Loki. I want something done to him.
So you were upset with Loki just going away.
I wasn't mad about it, but he also didn't kill an entire kingdom. He didn't kill a queen. Namor just killed a fucking queen. A whole kingdom. Like, bro, that's not serious to you? Because I don't know about you, but they sent T'Challa to go find fucking blood when fucking his dad was killed. But for some reason, we don't want no blood when the queen is killed?
I'm not saying
I don't know
that.
about y'all, but the queen was a badass bitch. Especially in this movie.
I ain't saying she ain't.
That's my point. I'm not saying nothing against Namor. I'm just saying I wanted something done to him. It was weird that he was strong throughout the whole movie. And the moment they smacked the fuck out of him, they say, but hey, bro, go back home. Go heal. Go get your troops ready again. Because when someone attacks us, bro, come attack us.
It's just
it's literally what they set it up
what's
for.
Crazy
That's what
to
I'm
me
saying.
is
It makes 0 point.
in character, because
I'm not
the
just,
whole
but you're
point
only
was-
focusing on me saying character buildup. I also said if they're not going to do character buildup, do something else. Just do something. I just want something done to him. That's all I want. I wanted something done to Loki after the first Thor movie. Trust me, I wanted him in cuffs or something. I wanted the motherfucking in prison. Granted, I knew he was going to escape, but I wanted something. There was Loki, there was justifiable. He technically didn't do 0 things wrong. He didn't kill nobody. Like, he literally didn't kill nobody big.
he allowed
didn't
the
destroy
enemy to sneak
and
into
I get that,
Asgard.
but did anybody really die? That's my point. Namor actually killed a queen. Like, yeah, I get it. Loki, trust me. I still think, yeah, this shit should have been done to him. But my point is, technically, he really didn't do shit like that wrong compared to fucking Namor. That's what I'm saying. I just wanted something done to him. But to me, it just sounds like they set themselves up to get fucking reloaded on again. Like, he got to do the same thing when he lost, when he won. He got to go home and chill in his kingdom, peaceful, quiet, without 0 worries. That's weird after you kill a queen in an entire kingdom to me. I'm just saying, and especially for a kingdom that just stood up in front of 4 fucking, the League of Nations,
Right.
and said, yo, you fuck with us, you have what's coming to you. What do you have coming to us? You're just going to send us back home. That's all you're going to do. See what I'm saying? See how it seems a little fucking weird? Like, they stand up here and say that, and then they didn't really do nothing.
All right, we need to wrap it up, so make your final remarks.
Sure, he could have done it.
She could have.
So that's on her. So don't blame Namor for doing any of that. So
But
blame the
I'm blaming
the daughter
Marvel
of the queen.
at the end of the day because Namor isn't a real fucking person. I'm
Right.
blaming Marvel.
Well,
They should have done fucking. They should have done certain things better.
You've been yelling like it's been real life.
Because all I'm saying is you keep bringing up, like, I brought up character build-up as one thing, but I also said a bunch of other things. But you keep coming back to fucking Loki and Loki and
That's
Loki.
because your main...
My main thing was fucking Thanos. That's what I said. I said Thanos had character build-up. All I said, you brought up Loki, actually.
I
You
brought
did.
him up because we was talking about
And
the
all
whole
I was saying,
anti-hero
all
and
I
build
was
up
saying
as a full character.
is that I wanted something done to him. That's all I gave a fuck about. I didn't care that they made him look like a villain or an anti-hero or that. I just wanted something done to him. A fucking clipped wing isn't enough. That shit happens to a bird on the street.
Well, a bird ain't a superhuman.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fucking clipped wing. That shit ain't big. Like, something should have been... Because as I said, and you know this is true, from the very beginning to the very end, he's the same exact person
I've been agreeing
with
that.
the same exact mindset.
I agree
and it's
with
like,
that several times.
what was accomplished with him?
He proved a point.
But that's what I'm saying. He did. But they didn't do anything to him. So in reality, the whole movie was kind of useless in that aspect because nothing came of the villain.
No, see,
Like,
here's where it lies, because the villain did exactly what he said he was going to do.
and I get that
At every single standpoint, every single standpoint. So now it's not the villain;
He didn't follow up.
it's the hero now.
It's not. It's Marvel. Is what I'm saying. Like, they should have. They should have brought it together better. Like, something should have happened, or some type of.
See,
he comes to a realization, or, you know, they actually start. Like, you see a treaty start to happen. But you know, all you see is them stop the fucking fight, and then you hear him say some shit that sounds like, yo, he's not done with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to us, that just means we're going to get a second movie. The next Black Panther 3, is just going to be fucking Black Panther versus the capital city again. And so it's going to be the same thing as 2.
The main thing
not going to have the sad thing of Chadwick Boseman.
The main thing that I see is, yeah, the villain did exactly as he set out to do, right? But even other tribe leaders within Wakanda, M'Baku, said, don't kill him, because that's going to screw over generations and generations and generations of war. Now, Shuri, yeah, you could say it's Marvel all day long, because at the end of the day, that's how they wrote it. Mm-hmm. They wrote it for a reason. There's obviously going to be a future of Namor.
Exactly.
Now, who knows? Maybe there's a movie somewhere along the lines of whatever where Namor ends up helping Wakanda. Sees like, okay, like, cool, like, I am cool with the peace treaty. Like, I'll actually look out for them because they're looking out for me. Something like that. Or they see other heroes on.
You know,
it doesn't have to be. That's.
But that's what it's like. We have.
It's like for future movie. Like, why tell what your future plan is right now?
I'm not saying like tell your whole future plan, but to have the whole movie based around this villain, right? And his whole plan was to destroy the world. In reality, that was his plan. He wants to destroy the world. He doesn't like the surface land.
Right.
Right? Like every fucking person that comes from the water. So he doesn't like the surface land, and at the end of the movie, he's still talking like he's going to attack the same people that he was just attacking. Just make him worded different so that we think, okay, there is a chance that... Because right now, it seems like there's zero chance of him helping Wakanda. Right now, it seems like literally the next Black Panther is going to be them fighting him again. Right. That's how he made it sound.
But I mean, there's plenty of Marvel movies where they did that. Where they made it seem like this thing... We thought Loki died 5 different times. So I'm exaggerating. There were... But then he comes back. Like, I'm just saying there's a lot of things that, like... Yeah, we don't know right now, but that's not to say something happens in the future that... Oh, okay, things are changing. I'm just saying,
a motherfucker killed the queen and he got to walk away. That's blasphemous.
That's on the queen's daughter. That's fault.
Blasphemous.
Queen's daughter should have done it.
Something should have been done to him. That's all my thing. But Black Panther 2 was a solid film.
Yeah, you started talking like it was trash.
No, it's just, as I said, like, it's certain things. And, like, as I said, the Namor thing, there's...
I really got under his skin this time.
No, it wasn't even that, but it's like, you say one thing, but then, like, it's like, Namor, I don't know. It doesn't all add up.
James, come in a little bit.
No, it just doesn't all add up. You know, it's like...
I mean...
I was like, you were just focusing on that I was saying character build-up. And you didn't
because
focus
that was...
But I said 3 other things at the same time as character build-up, but that's the only thing you caught to. Well, and we can go watch it again. And literally, I said hellish different. I was like, you could have done character build-up, you could have done this, you could have done this. And then you stuck with the character build-up. And I was like, yeah.
I felt like that was the main point of the argument.
But it wasn't, because what I was saying is there should have been a character build-up or something else should have been done. Like something...
Yeah, a peace treaty happened.
It didn't really happen.
Yeah, well, but to their knowledge it is. To Namor and that one other person, they got other plans.
I guess.
Yeah. Guess we ain't talking about Drake tonight.
I mean, we can if we make it like 20 minutes.
That's a whole nother argument.
Y'all don't want to do a Drake on here. Because I already know what Jaden's going to say.
I guess we'll have
to... Talk about, I mean, y'all could talk about Drake. I'll just stay silent. Because y'all already know my take on Drake.
No, we'll save it.
I hope you know I'm not talking about it next week. Because I'm going to completely forget all of it. I hope you know that.
All right, well, then, quite quickly, what are your thoughts on it?
What's your thoughts on her loss?
I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
What about it made it fine? Because you thought it was a good album? No, I thought it was solid. I'm generally asking, like,
what makes an album fine?
James, keep your ass up. So
what makes an album fine? The songs on there. You don't fucking put dance videos on the songs. That's what made it fine.
No, I'm just trying to.
No, that just makes zero sense.
I'm just saying, like, is there a certain aspect of the song?
Just
like,
the whole thing.
I was just trying.
You look at every song that Drake and 21 Savage come out with, and they've all been good. And so you look at the album, and it was. I think they did a good job of like releasing say 14. I don't know exactly how many songs, but say it's 14.
I think it's like 14, 16 something.
Yeah, they released 10 together, and then they did like 2 each of them by themselves. So not every song on there is a bop. You know, they, of course, you know, there's a couple songs that are a little slower and stuff like that, but I mean, all together, I thought it was fine. I don't see anything bad about it. I mean, but of course, you have hella bad shit to say about it.
Not hella.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though.
Real quick, before you start talking, because I want to say this.
Yeah.
Exactly what you said about his last album and about how Drake doesn't take his time and how blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Drake took his time. He came and showed everybody that when he wants to rap, he can rap. That's all I'm going to say, because he came out here and he rapped. And the bars that he put out in this thing, and if you actually go listen to it word by word and read the lyrics, he actually rapped and he actually had fucking bars. Just going to say that. For a lot of people saying
for
Drake
one
can't
song.
rap. For a lot of songs. I can pull up 4 songs right now.
The only song I will say that he did that for was Middle of the Ocean.
Middle of the Ocean he did. And you can't say the song, let me bring it up, because I don't know how to pronounce it. The Circo Loco. I know hella people might give us shit for it, but they exposed Megan Thee Stallion. Exposed the fuck out of her. In that song and in Rich Flex. Exposed the fuck out of her because Tory did not do it. I've been saying it. Now, it might be 50-50 for most people. Tory did not shoot Megan, in my opinion. It's been cleared in the court of law, so I think it was dope that they came out after. But they had bars in that song. What other song? Broke Boys. Broke Boys was solid. I know you guys won't like that song because of the ending, but
That song's trash.
I like the song. Back Outside Boys was solid. On My BS was alright, and Major Distribution was dope.
That was a good song. I'll say that.
So
this is my problem.
Before Jaden gets into it, the album is trash! Okay, you can go on.
Ty hates the album.
I did.
Probably about the same that I do. Drake sounds the same on too many songs.
Like he always does.
Spice it up. No, because in this album, he did change it up a little bit. There were like 2, maybe 3 songs where I listened and I was like, Drake did something different. Mm-hmm. He changed it up. Cool. It's not even his voice. It's the same. It's damn near the same melody every time. I'll give them this though. Instrumental wise, solid instrument. I liked a good majority of the instrumentals on this album.
How is the melody the same? I want to ask that.
Because it is.
I can pull up 3 different songs where they all sound different.
It's way too similar to me. Drake just sounds way too similar most of the time to me in the way that he's singing on these choruses.
But you got to think about it. So I'm just going to throw a couple people out that I know you listen to. You think about NF.
Yeah, there you go.
90% of NF songs sound the exact same. He's talking about wanting to kill himself, being sad in his mind. Mm-hmm. But you love NF.
But he has bars.
But so does Drake. That's literally contradicting. Because you say all of it. No. Because you said all of his melodies sound the same. But then when it turns to someone else who they're the exact same. Oh, but he got bars.
He's a better rapper. Yeah, NF is a better rapper than Drake. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
go on. Go on. I'm not even gonna remark on that. Go on.
Cool. Well, you
go on.
That was it. Bring up more of my artists.
Okay, Logic. A lot of Logic songs sound the exact same.
I'm on the old
lot of Logic.
I'm more on the old Logic and
even old Logic. A lot of the old Logic sounds the exact same. A lot of it, okay, and then we can flip, and this is a very controversial one. I love him to death. Eminem. A lot of Eminem shit sounds the exact same.
No.
Yes. You want to bet?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
You can't play it.
Okay, we'll play it afterward. But there's no way you're saying Mockingbird does not sound, and the fucking melody of it does not sound the same of all of his other fucking songs, like Toy Soldier.
No.
Dun, 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 dun. That doesn't sound like that's Mockingbird. Different. And that doesn't sound like Toy Soldier?
Different. Okay. We'll listen to it.
Literally, I love Eminem, but a lot of his melodies are the exact same. A lot of his, literally, he's been known for one type of, sounding. That's Eminem.
But he does something with it.
But so does Drake. Drake is the most accomplished artist of all time. How does he not do something with it?
I'll let you know why Drake is the most accomplished of all time.
Because he does everything. He goes on the song with everybody.
This is why. When you look at hip-hop artists like Eminem. I'm gonna not say Wayne for this group. You look at NF, you look at even Logic to a certain standpoint. You look at these three artists. They're only focused on their one people, and then have gotten other audiences to listen to their music. Now, what Drake does to become the most accomplished is he tries to make songs, not even just songs, but he tries to get every mainstream audience to go listen to his stuff, even if it sounds trash. Huh?
He blew up before any of that.
Before any of
Drake does that because he can. Drake does that because he's bored. Drake's first 3 albums blew the fuck up.
Yeah, that's great.
Blew up. I will take you through the Drake albums before people really started hating Drake, right?
I've been saying old Drake was good.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's saying, like, oh, Drake. But Drake dropped So Far Gone, solid. Thank Me Later, solid. Take Care, solid. Nothing Was the Same, solid, right? All 4 of those.
Too late.
If you're reading It's Too Late, solid. What a Time to Be, solid. Views was a solid album. More Life was when it started getting okay, but still had some solid ass fucking songs on it. But if you look from So Far Gone to Nothing Was the Same, Drake's type of music was all over the place because Drake can do so many type of things. Not to sound rude, but the reason Drake is the best is because no one can do what Drake does. NF can't sit here and rap and then come out here and do a melody song the way Drake can do it. That's why Drake is the best. Granted, is there some shit Drake does that's not for everybody and that is fucking stupid? Yes. His last album of the whole techno beat, yeah, that shit was stupid. Yeah, granted, as a Drake fan, there were some songs I liked on it. Jimmy Cooks was fire. A couple of the other songs, If I'm in the Mood. But the reason Drake is the fucking great, like, to say his melodies sound the same and that's why you don't like him, that's a very shitty argument because that's a very controversial argument too because you listen to a bunch of other rappers that their shit sounds the exact same. Their melodies sound the exact same. So you don't like Drake because you don't like Drake. You don't like how big he is, and you don't like... That is it. Nope. You just don't want to admit it. You don't like how big he is and how he can do
because
anything.
Here's the thing. Because I'm telling you that I like old Drake.
Old Drake, but you don't like his new shit because he's all over the place. You can't say it's because of his melody. Just say you don't like his newer songs.
The songs are also not good.
So that's your personal opinion.
Cool. So why are you getting so heated about it? You're saying all these things like I can't admit certain things. But that's not it at all.
Melody.
I said that was one of the reasons.
But that's not a reason because you listen to these other people because of the melody.
I agreed with NF and I agreed with Logic.
And Eminem, I don't see how because Eminem is the biggest one of them all. And I love Eminem, but a lot of his songs do sound like he has the same flow, the same melody. But the thing is he knows how to rap fast. He can do hella different shit and combine 7 lines into one.
Eminem has something different to offer than Drake does. More often than not, Drake sounds
Eminem is fucking amazing.
Same.
I'm not saying that hating on Eminem by no means.
Right.
I think Eminem is one of the greatest of all time. All I'm saying is that his melodies sound the same.
There are probably... I'll give you that. Like, to be honest, haven't heard Toy Soldiers in a year.
But, it's just... as I said, it's okay if you can say, and I've always said this, if you don't like Drake because you don't like his music, that's fine. But you can't say that he's not good. You can't say that he doesn't have bars, and you can't say that his melodies are all the same, and that's why you don't like him because...
But those are all legitimate reasons because in my opinion...
But how is he not good?
Because he hasn't been making good music.
How not?
Because
so
it's
you're
trash.
saying out of the last 3 albums, he's
I'm gonna tell you right now,
one good song?
21 Savage carried that album, and he was barely even on it.
He did.
For a collab album,
he did.
He did. I'll bring up a statistic.
It's crazy how it's crazy how no matter who goes on with a song, no matter how good Drake's verse is, he gets carried nowadays. That's what anybody says. Drake can't do a fucking song by himself and be. Drake can't have a feature these days, or somebody outperforms him. That's what everybody says. Drake can never do good in anybody's eyes.
In Her Loss, lyrical splits. Percent of total words, Drake said 66% of everything on that album. While 21 Savage at 26%. How are you going to have a collab album and then have your collab artist barely say even 30%? So, there's that. And even then, 21's verses carried a good majority of this album.
So first off, we talk about how it's a joint thing, right? And that Drake has majority of the words. But you also got to look at 21 Savage ain't going to come out here and do no fucking chorus. So automatically, the chorus automatically goes to Drake. So in that aspect, if you want it to be 50-50, Drake's not going to have no verses. It's going to be all 21 Savage on verses. It's going to be Drake doing the chorus.
Not necessarily.
In reality. Because if you think about it, if you take away those chorus, right? So say there's 10 songs. You take away the chorus of all those songs, and I bet you the fucking lyric to lyric is 50-50. But you put the thing, or the chorus, and of course, if each song has a chorus, and the chorus is said 3 times, that's now 3 extra things that Drake has in each song. So you can't really use the lyrics said in that aspect.
You can, because if you're doing a collab album.
But as I said, so then take away the chorus in that.
Okay, but from 66 to 26 is a 40% different. 40% of that album is not chorus.
I mean, if there's 10 songs, I could see if each chorus or each song had 2 chorus verses, I could see, yes, a cool 40%. Because you got to think, if there's 2 chorus and 2 verses in the song, that's 4 verses in total.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So that's 50% of the song.
But for most of the time, choruses are probably a fourth as long as a verse.
And you also got to look at the end of a song for like 30 seconds. All that was being said was, I don't fuck with broke boys. I don't fuck with broke boys. I don't fuck with broke boys. And they literally was just doing that as an outro. That was only an outro. So you got to think, if that 30 seconds, that also takes up time.
Well, it's not.
But as a collab album, like, yeah, Drake might have rapped on, but to say he doesn't have bars on it, or to say
I'm not saying he doesn't
to say he doesn't release good songs or nothing like that's just.
And I'm not saying he doesn't release good songs, because, like, lately you've been saying I'm just a Drake hater. I'm just a hater in general.
Because literally every time a Drake thing, and you can vouch for this. Every time Drake drops something, you get so excited to listen to it to hate on it. Right or wrong? You get so excited to hate on it because right when we said we're listening to 21 Savage and Drake and we're going to talk about it, you said, I can't wait to listen to this album. I'm going to have so much to say. It's the first thing you said.
You don't want to know why?
Because you're so excited to hate on Drake.
No, that's not what it is. See, you're so blinded on the fact that you think I hate him that much, because I really don't, because he has no influence on my life whatsoever. I really don't care about Drake like that. That's not why I said I was excited for this, because that was a great idea that Ty brought up, and this I knew it would create a debate. That's why I was excited for it.
I don't think that, because
the last album... I'm telling you right now, that's exactly what it is.
Before I even listened to the last album, you were already talking shit about it. And I had just got off of work. You listened to it within like 4 hours of the shit coming out.
For which one? Sorry, I was...
Drake's last album, the techno one.
I didn't listen to that one.
Okay, then it was the other one before that. It was, I don't know which one it was, but I remember you hitting me up and I was still at fucking work. And I'm like, bro, I ain't even got off of work yet to listen to it. And you were already listening to it and hating on it.
Yeah, Certified Lover Boy wasn't good.
I don't know how. That was I had some good ass songs on it. I'm not going to say that whole album was good, but there was definitely good songs on it.
I will give Jaden the benefit of the doubt this time, because he told me, he's like, I'm going to go into this album like not hating on Drake, not wanting to hate on the album. So
I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt for a respectful debate.
And I don't know, so if you actually listen to the album, I don't know how you still have this mindset on Drake, because when he actually rapped this one, he had the bars you're saying he don't have. He said
I didn't say he just doesn't have bars. I said he doesn't usually... I agree. There are some songs where he does have some bars. And I agreed when Ty said the song. I agreed.
So then
doesn't mean he did good throughout the album.
So how's the album trash if he did good on this song and he did good on this song and he did good on this song? If he did good on more than 4 songs, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's a decent album.
That's a quarter of the songs. That is not a good album.
That's a decent fucking album. That's most people's good albums these days. What the fuck?
So then we are in a terrible generation.
We are in a terrible fucking generation. Because that is not a good motherfuckers drop like a 16-song album and maybe 3 of them are hits.
Cool. Trash album.
And Drake drops this. It's going to be 14. I can guarantee you 5 to 6 are going to be hits on the radio.
That's cool.
People listening to him every single fucking day.
To be fair, just because it's a hit doesn't mean it's a good song.
Good.
But no, they'll be a hit. People will consistently listen to them. I can say, personally, I actually not only downloaded the album, I downloaded it offline so I can have it 100% even if my fucking Wi-Fi goes out. I have this album. It has solid fucking songs on it.
I'm not saying
he literally says, I'm like a cup holder the way the dimes stick to me. Who else is going to say that?
Okay.
Like,
that's cool.
Throughout his songs, he has a bunch of one-liners that if anybody else said, bro, they would be on their nuts. But Drake said it, so it's not. It's like the LeBron thing. Drake has to do so good because we expect it from him.
I don't expect it from him.
Everybody expects it from him. You don't respect it from him because you don't like him. You're not going to expect it from him if you don't like him.
I am perfectly okay saying this is a good Drake song. Because that song that you told me to go listen to, the one that was on the DJ Khaled song, that was an instant download. And that was recent.
Oh, that one. That was funny as fuck.
Instant download.
That shit funny.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you really think that I just hate Drake. I don't. I don't just hate Drake.
But as I said,
what he recently puts out, I know that Drake can do better. And I fully believe that he can do better than what he's putting out. I don't think this is what his true potential is.
He can do better than what he's putting out. I'll give you that. But to say what he's putting out, he's not putting out anything good, that is probably the biggest load of shit that anybody's ever said walking this planet. Because to say that Drake in the last, say, 4 albums haven't even put out 10 hits, 10, not even 10 hits, 10 solid fucking songs is blasphemous.
I haven't said that.
But you're saying that you literally said he doesn't come out with anything good anymore.
Album-wise,
and I can
correct.
say in the last 3 albums, and Certified Lover Boy, I can name more than 50% of the songs that were certified, not just hits. They were certified solid fucking songs. Like, great from start to finish. And it's just not me saying it. It's people who don't even like Drake that I talk to that are like, yeah, bro, that shit was solid. There's hella shit. And it's like, you're one of the people that, like, I consistently hear, it's hard for you to say something. You have to try your hardest to say something good about Drake.
No.
And you don't understand that. Like, you haven't...
It's hard for me to say something good about the Cowboys. They're gross, but that's
No. You say more good things about the Cowboys than you will ever say about Drake.
Maybe recently.
No, ever. I've never heard you say anything good about Drake. If you want the pure honesty.
I agreed with 5 albums that I said were bangers. That's crazy. So 5 entire albums I said.
You said they were good albums. Okay, that's not.
I said they were solid. Okay, I agreed that they were solid.
So after 2014, right? You don't think Drake has done anything good since 2014? You've said he has not came out with a good album since 2000. Since that one album I said, since that list, and you're saying that. So this was the last good album he came out with, or this one?
What is that one? What a Time to Be Alive, right? Decent.
Views and More Life.
Views was good.
Okay, what about More Life?
I didn't listen to that one.
Okay, Scorpion?
That's
probably his second best fucking album.
I thought it was
He not only had a rap side, but he had an R&B side for all the people who said he couldn't do both.
I just thought it was
Like,
I didn't say it was trash.
Care Package, that one was cool. This was probably his worst album, in my opinion, was Dark Lane demo tapes.
Yeah, I didn't like that one.
And it wasn't because it wasn't an actual album to me. Even though it was
good.
14 songs, it was more of
that was a flop for what it should have been.
Certified Lover Boy was not a flop.
Certified Lover Boy was to go up against Donda.
Was not home, and it beat Donda.
That's cool, but they were both not good.
This song was solid. Okay, Champagne Poetry solid.
I love
Poppy's
Champagne.
Home, bro. Daddy's Home.
No, I didn't like that
boy, that shit is solid, boy. If that don't get you in the mood, come on now. Girls Want Girls, I already told you my opinion on that. That shit is a banger and a half.
Oh, no.
In the Bible, solid. Fair Trade, solid. Way Too Sexy, solid. In Too Deep with Future. If you don't like In Too Deep with Future, bro, your opinion of Drake does not matter. So I'm going to keep it a buck. If you do not like In Too Deep with Future, bro, your opinion does not matter.
All right, so now can I go just to prove you that I'm not just a Drake hater? Certified Lover Boy, I have Champagne Poetry, Love All with Jay-Z, Fair Trade with Travis Scott, In Too Deep with Future, No Friends in the Industry, Knife Talk, and You Only Live Twice.
That's crazy. Because out of 21 fucking songs, you only have 6 downloaded. And that's blasphemous because you don't have 7 a.m. on Birth Path. How don't you have 7 a.m. on Birth Path? Because everything you say about not liking Drake, that's 7 a.m. on Birth Path. That's my point. You don't listen to the albums like that.
Hold on. Listen to yourself. You say you can't say anything good about Drake I'm a hater. I've been saying all this stuff, and I just named you at least 7 songs that I did like from an album
on that
I
album.
said wasn't good.
Okay, you didn't even have a third of the fucking songs.
How many albums or songs?
21 songs.
Okay, so
That's my point exactly. You had 6.
I had 7. Did I have 6? Okay, even then.
That's my point. You didn't even have a third of the album. You didn't even have 7 a.m. on Birth Path. And everything you say about Drake on how he has the same flow. He has this. He has 7 a.m. Birth Path. He goes away from that, and all he does for that whole time is just rap. He goes away from trying to go to a flow, and he just raps.
That's fantastic. I'm not saying that song's trash. I'm not saying that.
But it's just
because I don't download a song doesn't mean I think the song is trash. Doesn't mean any of that. There are plenty of Eminem songs that I will not listen to because it does not please me.
He came out with a solid album, but his albums are selling. His album.
That's great.
He's fucking fantastic.
They're great.
But everybody's listening to them.
Just because it sells doesn't mean it's good.
But everybody's listening to them. It's not like it's a one-time listening, but nobody's going back to it. I'm sorry, it's not a Donda. It's not these fucking NF shit. We listen to them consistently.
That's cool.
And even when people don't listen to them consistently, they still go back to them and listen to it every once in a while. That's cool. What I'm saying. So to say Drake hasn't came out with a good album, that's my point. You don't need to like Drake, but you cannot sit here. You personally can say, I don't like the albums came out, but he has been coming out with good albums. You can't say he's not coming out with good albums when he's shattering every fucking record known to man.
It's easy when everybody's on his dick.
Not everyone's on his dick because he gets the most hate in the game. More than anybody, Drake gets the most hate in the game, but gets the most love at the same time.
That's because there are so many people who mainstream his stuff. Drake is the biggest.
And there's so many people that hate his shit too and literally write him off before he even gets a chance.
Before he gets a chance?
Yes, before an album even drops, people be, this shit's gonna be a flop. You don't get how many Drake haters there really are. I get there's a lot of Drake lovers, but there's just as many Drake haters as there are lovers. He's the most hated rapper in the rap game right now.
He's not really a rapper.
And he's not, but guess what? He just dropped the rap album. Is going to sell better than every rapper that dropped this year, guaranteed.
And he will not get album of the year because it is not an album of the year.
And he might not get album of the year, and that's okay because guess what? He don't need album of the year.
See, here's the thing though.
Album of the year is for people who are trying to make it. He doesn't need album of the year because guess what? He'll release an album next month that he can make in 15 minutes, and guess what? It's still gonna sell better than your best friend's album, or sell better than fucking Cardi B's album, or sell better than Lil Wayne's album, or sell better than MGK.
Because of his name.
Because of his name, yes, of course.
That's what I'm
saying. Guess what?
So
before that shit's also released, he'll also get as much hate as he can about it. That's my point. Like, my thing is, I get it. You might not like Drake, but to say Drake doesn't drop a good album is disrespectful on Drake. He might not drop an album for you, but to say he does not drop a good album is 100%. It's not even opinion. That's just 100% false. Because that doesn't go away to an opinion. That goes, like, we're not talking about opinion right now. Like, you're saying he doesn't drop good albums. And that's crazy.
Recently, his albums are not good. Yeah.
And that's crazy because to a lot of people, they're good. They might not tend to you, but to 90% of fucking people that listen to that type of music, the Drake albums are solid.
But if on an album, let's say just for statistics wise, just to make it easy, let's say you make a 20-track album. If 10 songs aren't good, that's not a good album.
See, but I think 15 of his songs are solid on that album.
That's cool. That's fine. But there's a lot of people that are on the same boat as I am, where a lot of his songs will sound the same, where Drake sounds the exact same and saying different words.
But that's every artist.
No, it's not. It's
how
really
is it not?
Because it's not.
How? I literally named you 3 and you agreed to them.
The 2 of them. And I said...
Okay, sorry. We'll take Eminem out of there. You ready?
Sure.
The Baby. We'll throw the Baby in there.
Trash. I don't like the Baby.
Okay, you might not like the Baby, but
so disrespectful.
People like the Baby. That's what I'm saying. So, the flows sound the same, but they like.
All right, we're gonna need to wrap it up. So, give your final thoughts on everything.
Like as I said, I'm not trying to force Drake upon you. I'm not saying you need to like Drake. I'm just saying you can't say his albums are bad and that he doesn't release good albums when there's still people that don't like Drake that will listen. Like, my brother-in-law will listen to a Drake album and be like, yeah, this is actually pretty good. Like, he does not fuck with Drake like that. But he listened to Certified Lover Boy and he's like, yeah, this is pretty solid. So all I'm saying is you can't say the album is trash. Just say it's not for you. But to say the album is trash and that he doesn't release good albums when hella people like it is blasphemous. That's all I'm going to say.
First of which, it's not blasphemous because there's a thing. And this is the last thing I'll say about it. We're talking about music.
Mm-hmm.
You can hate it, you can love it. Doesn't mean it's blasphemous. This is all opinion based.
Exactly. But when it comes
so
to
if
opinion,
I say,
that's when you say it's not for me. You don't say it's trash. I don't sit here and say Michael Jackson's music is trash. A lot of it's not for me.
That's cool.
Like, I don't say fucking NF's music is trash, but it's not for me.
That's cool. But
he's still good.
That's an opinion.
Like, his albums are still good.
But
like,
me to say that Drake is trash and he puts out trash albums is my opinion, is it?
But
not?
that's what I'm saying. It's like that. Your opinion might be that Drake's trash.
And you can't say my opinion is wrong because it's just my opinion.
But when we're talking about an album and you're literally saying he doesn't put out good albums, that's all I'm saying. You like at that standpoint, you got to say he doesn't put albums out. Out
of all of his albums that he's put out, there were 4 that I said were not that good. 4. How many albums does he have? So you can't say that
that's
I hate
my
Drake
point
like
exactly.
No.
So how can you say that Drake is trash if you like more than 50% of his albums?
Because recently, I don't think it's been good.
So say you don't like his albums recent, but he's still good. That's my point.
But he hasn't been putting out good things. Like,
but you can't say he's not good just because he hasn't done it lately.
Lately, he's not good.
Just because Kevin Love hasn't been playing good lately don't mean that Kevin Love wasn't a great fucking basketball player. Doesn't mean he's not a great basketball player. He's just not doing it lately. Aaron Rodgers, is he a shit quarterback? No, he just hasn't been performing well lately. So to you, Drake hasn't been performing well lately. But you can't say he's trash when you yourself like more than 75% of his albums. You yourself.
But I can.
But you can't because that makes 0 sense.
No, it makes perfect sense.
You can't like 75% of his albums but think he's trash.
Lately, Drake is
trash. Lately, but I'm saying
that's what I've been saying.
I'm saying in general. And I've said in general you can't say Drake is trash. Haven't I said this?
In general, remember the
and
haven't
I been saying it the same exact fucking way? I said you can't say he's fucking trash when you like his music. That's what I said. You can't say he's trash and his albums are trash when you like his music. You might not like his recent shit, so say his recent shit is not for you. That's what I said. But you keep going back to Drake's trash. Drake's albums are trash. You don't go back to lately. You don't make it lately. But you like to very specifically say Drake is trash. You have been saying that very loudly. That's why I'm trying to explain to you. Rephrase the shit very specifically and say lately the music's not for you.
I said Her Loss, trash, Carried by 21. I said the last one I didn't even listen to because it was trash. I said Certified Lover Boy. Was a flop.
Okay, I said lately the music's not for you.
I said lately is trash.
So thank you, but you can't say Drake is trash when you listen to his music. That's my point. You've been saying Drake is trash. That's what I've been trying to get you to switch.
That's what I've been saying. Lately, Drake is trash.
Thank you, lately. So you don't like Drake lately for you, but you literally said Drake is trash. You have said that. You didn't say lately.
Drake is trash.
That's what I'm saying. Like you are contradicting yourself. And I'm trying to help you out, but you're not listening. Like, you're literally saying he's trash, but then saying, oh, but I fuck with this album, and I fuck with this album, and this song is cool, and I like this song. Then you fuck with Drake. You just don't like his new album. That's all you got to say. I don't fuck with his new album. His newest albums ain't been for me, but Drake is still cool. Drake can still rap. But he is, because you like 75% of his albums.
Because it's his old stuff. Because that's when he...
Which is Drake still. It doesn't matter if it's 15 years old or 80 years old. Drake is fucking Drake. If you like Drake music, you like Drake music. I'm not saying you like the newest shit. But if you like Drake, you like Drake. It don't matter what genre or what era it is. If you like Drake, you like Drake. I like early Wayne. I like 2003 Wayne. You don't like 2003 Wayne. I bet you like 2008. But more of the Carter 3, Carter 4. Which is perfectly fine. But see how we like 2 different genres or 2 different eras of fucking Lil Wayne? So you like this era of Drake. I like all of Drake. That's all you got to say. But to say you hate Drake and Drake is trash and Drake's albums are not good, but then you like it, like, that's my point.
I'll let us wrap up just because I know we're going over. I'll explain to you off the podcast. Like, even more so.
We can go back and look, and I promise you never said lately at the beginning. You started off by saying Drake's albums are not good.
I will definitely listen for it. Oh, man, we might need to do these more in person. This is fun. I love having you both here.
Fucking hug me.
I didn't even say anything.
Yes, you did. We're going next, buddy.
Tune in next week. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this first ever edition of live or in-person podcast. You can always listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yeah, like James said at the beginning, we are almost able to run ads. That is because of you guys. So continue to support in the way that you do. If you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all the notifications of when we upload. We're going to do a lot more stuff. I know me and Jaden are going to stream Pokemon soon. It's going to be a lot of fun shit. I do got to say. All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a beautiful day.
Bless you.
Peace.